Okay, guys, welcome back. Forex Insight Group, February the 11th, 2013. So again, in today's session, we are still long on this Aussie dollar. We started taking already profits at +6. We're going to be seeking 103, which is roughly 13 points away from where currently Aussie dollar's at. Again, one quick review here from this morning's session. We just go to the 4-hour chart. And if you guys remember from last week, the RBA, which was released around 10 p.m., which is New York time, you can see that following that, the very next day, or over the next 24 hours or so, the Aussie dollar took about a 200-point plunge. And in doing so, we were talking about possibly hitting 102.50. It didn't quite get there. It got to about 102.60, 102.75. But we were talking about then at that point in time last week that we would be looking to take a retracement here on this Aussie dollar sometime possibly Friday or today, Monday, the 11th. And as you can see, we've been in this trade now for about an hour. We're now positive 10 points. And most of you guys in the room this morning and online took your profits already at +6, +7. And our next target is going to be 103. And the reason why is we do have that first retracement level, or what I like to call the front door of phase 1 Fibonacci retracement. So again, with the stop at break even, which you can see here, my stop is pretty much right at break even. Basically now we're in control of this trade, and I see that a lot of you guys are all smiles on this trade, as you can do nothing but make money on this trade. And that's basically one of the more immediate goals when we're counter trend scalping here, or what we call delta trades. Again, let's hold these positions until that first fib level. Keep in mind that again, we're going back to the 4-hour chart. We should have that fib retracement from that point on the 4th of February, which was at 10 p.m. when they released that info last week on the 4th, towards the lows of pretty much last week, which was the 7th. You can see that after that, right before the week closed, actually Aussie dollar retraced to that second fib level, but it still stayed in the phase 1 of our fib retracement, only to then retrace the lows of the 7th, which is this morning, moving in. Which is why we see, now that we're still around +9, we still see this fib level here as our target. Okay, we want to see that next 4-hour candlestick possibly test this area here, 103. Again, it's the fib level. And if it wants to break, which I believe it will break over 103, then you want to see that next fib level, which is testing these highs, as you can see here. This nice little resistance will probably be the end of this Aussie dollar marathon from the lows of earlier this morning, or from the opening of the Sydney market on Monday. This will probably be the end of the marathon here for Aussie dollar until probably on Wednesday or so. We'll probably get a sideways here on Aussie dollar, bearing that there's no surprise commentary or surprise economic commentary. Again, this week we're going to be expecting a lot of Euro economic data, and it's going to most likely show damaging of the Euro region because of the sovereign debt crisis. Most likely it is going to be, or it is the worst quarterly decline in about 4 years. So we're going to go more into that in the next session. But moving on from the Aussie dollar, the other traders are now in the pound dollar. Now keep in mind, guys, pound dollar, this is our daily chart, pound dollar. We have a low of 152.75 back in May and June of 2012. We're going to keep on this trend line. Actually, let's switch over to a weekly chart. We're going to keep on this trend line. We're in a weekly chart now, ladies and gentlemen. We go back to 31st of January 2009, right? Everybody loved that year of 2008, right? Okay, so a lot of I mean, notice what pound dollar's been doing here since the market decline in 2008. Notice how it has tested that fib level of 50% about twice now. Back in 09, and then in 2011. But needless to say, anyways, we should all have that trend line. Everybody should have this trend line here from that low after the market crashed and pound dollar started to rebound. We can see that that trend line as of last week, again, we're in a weekly chart, as of last week was tested. Zooming in, is basically going to have a tough time breaking that trend line, which, as you can see, pound dollar has bounced from that area. So as of now, we are in a buy position on this pound dollar from this right above this trend line from 2009. Moving into the 4-hour chart, we also have another trend line from the beginning of the year, January 2nd, 2013. You can see pound dollar has basically been not just under that trend line, but under the 21-day average exponential. Only once, actually twice, it tried to break above. And what I'm using here is the trend line as a base. We're going to most likely see this area tested again on pound dollar, even if pound dollar wants to break 156.50 and head to 156 even. Pound dollar is going to have to gain some momentum by spiking back possibly towards as high as 158, maybe even to the L7 line, 159.80. But I'm expecting pound dollar to travel here to about 158.15. I do have about a 30-point stop. This is not a scalp trade, by the way, guys. Okay, it's more of a pullback trade, and this is more of a what we call an alpha trade here at the Forex Insight Group. And again, I'm seeking 158.15. This is an update for the pound dollar trade that most of you guys are in our community. Keep in mind, our rooms start at 7 a.m. New York time. But again, I have my stop around 156.35. You can vaguely see here. Here's the trend line, again from the January 2009, just after the market crash. Here's that trend line. You can see pound dollar did not test that trend line. It's going to stay above that trend line. I believe eventually it will test that trend line. But looking at this 4-hour chart, we want to see you'll probably see more of a rally to 158, and then pound dollar will test that trend line at 156 and possibly break it, or most likely it'll break it. But for now, we want to see pound dollar gain some momentum. Again, I have my stop somewhere around 156.35. We're in from 156.70. We're seeking 158.15. So again, this is an update on pound dollar, and I'll take questions now. And this is Chief Trader at Forex Insight.